What's going on, guys? Mason, aka Master, bringing you guys some more Smite content. And today, I'm bringing you guys some more raw content because those snipes are hot today, boys. So, I just got done playing this game, actually, and I was, again, just kind of relaxing, not really expecting too much because I don't want to commentate over a game that I feel like may or may not be good. So, I just kind of just let it play out. In this game, I played middle lane raw, and it's a very strong god to play in middle lane, to be honest with you. Probably one of the more stronger gods, I would honestly say. He's not as good as, obviously, Janus or any of that, because Janus is just, he's just different. He's just too overpowered. But here, I'm just doing the usual mid lane start, where I just kind of start with the jungler, which is Achilles in this case. And we just kind of wait for the speed buff. So other than that, you know, not too much in the beginning of the game. But I'm going up against a Poseidon, which is a very interesting kind of matchup against Raw. I kind of feel like Poseidon should beat Raw 10 out of 10 times because of how fast Poseidon is against Raw. Because Raw tends to be stronger against gods that are, one, unable to get away from them, which is very few, and two, very bad against gods that are quicker than him, which isn't many, but there are some gods that are fast, which is like Poseidon. Poseidon's very quick if you know how to play him right. If you level up his 2 and you will be quick. So that's why I level Poseidon up. That's why I do his 3, then 2, and then 1 whenever I play Poseidon. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like Poseidon should win, honestly, because he has a way to really just zone you out, and all Raw really has is precision-based abilities. So, here I'm helping him clear it out, and then I go back to my middle lane to confront this Poseidon for the very first time. And it honestly went pretty well, I think. You know, just the normal farming is pretty much what I do here. There's really nothing much else to do. But I learned since last game, and all I ever do is just scream out enemy missing middle. That's all I ever do, so you'll notice that a lot. And this team is actually very good at calling everything out. Everybody was calling something out, and I feel like we had a lot of chemistry, even though we probably didn't know anybody. So, I mean, but it's whatever. We have Vamana as their warrior in the solo lane. We have Isis as our quote-unquote warrior in the solo lane. I say quote-unquote because that is a mage. And then we have Cerberus and Xbalanque in our duo lane. And they have Xingting and Chiron in their double lane. Which, honestly, I kind of feel like Cerberus and Xbalanque beats them. Not because, because Cerberus and Xingting are kind of the same god. They really have the same abilities, if you think about it, except maybe Cerberus has more of a damage appeal to him, and maybe Xingting's ult's a little bit better. I don't know, and he has more CC, for sure. But I think overall Xbalanque kind of beats Chiron if he gets up early and can stack his passive. If he can't stack his passive, then there's almost no reason to play Xbalanque unless you're able to get those 5 kills. But I think they do very well. There they trade off, which is fine. But here I am just kind of farming, getting the red, and then just still farming. Here I use my 3 on the wave, but you'll see that I tend to use my 3 also on my minion wave because I want to heal the minions, so he has to apply even more damage than he would normally have to on the wave. So it takes him a lot longer to clear wave, which ultimately pushes him back, and he doesn't really lose too much farm because of it. It's just, it gives me a lot more lane presence. It gives me a lot more. Because I have minions, he has no chance of really boxing me, is what I'm saying. So that's always really good whenever you're in the middle lane. You want to try and do as much things as you can to like work around your kit to do as many things as you can to make sure that the middle laner on the other team cannot really box you. Here my autos are actual butt water, but it's okay. Like I'm not an auto based person. I usually just I play mage because, you know, they're ability based. That's about it. But as Raw specifically, because his ult is on a very fast cooldown, you want to kind of use his ult for multi-purposes, for just multiple things. One of which actually being the fact that you can ult the Gold Fury, which is a very easy way to secure a Gold Fury, which, if you guys don't know, the Gold Fury gives you about 300 extra gold per kill. So it's better off that you use your ult to confirm that, because you don't want the other team to steal it, because that shit's annoying as hell. But also, you could use it to confirm kills if you have to. If the kills are getting away, you can use it to confirm, which is honestly probably the more routine thing you want to do with his ults. But Brawl is very special in the fact that he can burst very quickly. Pretty much one of the better bursting mages in the game. Probably, maybe one of the fastest, honestly. But here I'm kind of waiting for my jungler to come back, because I know that if I engage him, the Poseidon is just going to come up and kill me. So in this, I decided to back off and make sure he can't get the side creeps. Because if he does, that gives him more experience and gold, which is what I don't want him to get as a jungler, because I want my Achilles as a jungler to stay up. Here I go for poke damage, because I know he's going to be there. This guy aegis, and I'm heated, because I ulted him, which was a perfect ult. He just aegis it. But it's all Gucci in the Coochie. So with that kill, we're going to go back to the side camps, the side harpies, because we want those kills. But first I want to fling my one at the wave, just so I can at least apply the damage, so when I come back I can fling another one at it. But there you see, I still didn't miss any experience or gold from me applying that damage on the wave, because here, look, I can just do that, and then the wave's cleared, and I have no problem with it. So as Poseidon leaves to go get his red buff, I decided to back for the first time in the game, because I hit 2k gold, which gives me my stacking item, which helps out a lot with the power boost. In this gameplay, I do attempt to go for a double stacking build. I wasn't able to completely get it done, but I mean, you'll see that later in the game that I wasn't really able to complete it, but I was able to get to at least the second stacking item. As Raw, it's more beneficial to go probably double stacking than any other mage, because other mages don't really need, they're not as bursty with all of them. I feel like if you do that, you're wasting a bunch of different items that could apply to certain gods' abilities. That's kind of like as a Poseidon taking away gem from his 3 and his 1. It's kind of not worth it. It's kind of not worth it. But as Raw, his entire kit is really based off bursting, slowing the enemy, and being faster than the enemy. So you really don't have a lot of... I mean, there's really no reason not to go double item. Because there's no reason to get gem, because your 2 pretty much is a gem of isolation. Because it slows them in their track. As long as they're close, near you, like by you, you're able to slow them, apply your 1, and then your 3. Your 3 I use primarily for damage. I'm not a support Raw. I never played support Raw, so I don't use my 3 as a heal. But if you do decide to use that as a heal, you always can level up your 1 and then your 3, instead of what I do, which is level up my 1 and then 2, because I want to have as much damage as possible in the early game. Here my aegis didn't go off, and I was a little heated, and then you'll see this is pretty nice. So I'll just let this play out for the next minute, because I want you guys to really just focus on this. And back to the fountain, Poseidon goes. That's what he gets for actually thinking he has a chance. There, I had no backup. I was a little bit out of position, but I was able to just maneuver around the Thor and the Poseidon, because they're not good enough to really contain me, I guess. They kind of just dropped the kill, and I got a kill out of it. So I go back to fountain without giving them experience and gold, and Poseidon goes back to the fountain with a broken heart and broken dreams, because I ulted his face. So that's what he gets for trying to attempt that stupid ass play. But that's another thing. Don't actually do what he just did, because that's hella aggressive. If a person is going to get out from you, there's no reason to continue the attack, because then you're just going to get yourself killed. And that's probably one of the worst things you could do in Smite of all games, because if you allow your opponent, especially the person that you're laning against, to get an early lead against you, that's hard to come back from. So it's better off that if you can try and get out of scenarios and stay positioned well away from other teams and their junglers, that's probably what you want to do. But if they're going to get away from you, and it's almost guaranteed, unless you have a way of confirming long-range kills like Raw, if you aren't playing a Raw or a Janus or anything that can apply far-away burst damage to confirm kills, don't chase the kill. That's probably one of the worst rookie mistakes that I feel that a lot of people make, that I still make to this day. But I mean, it's just you just have to tell yourself, it's just self-control. Here I try to style on the Poseidon. I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure, unless that's later in the game. But here I'm just trying to apply damage because I want to make sure this Poseidon has no chance of getting anything on me. I don't want him to get any lane presence. I don't want him to have anything really. I do have a higher experience and goal lead here, so I clear the wave. He wastes his 3 on me instead of the wave, which is a rookie mistake. So here, he's low on health. I said I'm going to 360. If I would have honestly shot it, I would have got him, but it's okay. Here, I would have killed him, but I absolutely cannot hit an auto to save my life. So I dropped the kill, but notice I did not chase the kill when I knew I couldn't get it. That's the difference between that raw play and what the Poseidon did. Although dropped the kill hard, I didn't continue to try and get it under his tower and potentially give him a free kill because I knew his ult would be up because he hasn't used his ult. So there's no reason. But what he did was attempt to kill me under my tower, which inevitably got him killed and not me. So that's another thing. Here I'm going to help out left lane because one, my Poseidon, I knew he backed, so I knew he wasn't going to be in lane, and I knew that left lane was having a bit of problems with the Vimana. The Vimana was probably the better player on that other team, kind of the only team that really established himself. Although the Vimana never really came in to help with team fights very often, he did okay split pushing his own lane, but I feel that if he would have helped out a little bit more in team fights, maybe team fights would have been a little bit more even in this game. But here, I decide to just go and help right lane because Poseidon is still not in middle lane. I did call it out that he was not in middle lane, but here you'll see something pretty crazy. So I'm just gonna let this play out because of this is what I'm talking about with Raw. He just has so much burst damage. So I'm gonna let you watch this play. Yeah, he said that's too bad, and then, you know, he had to hit me with that real quick, cancel that. So I missed my ult there because I just predicted that I forgot that Jingting had an escape. I forgot he had a jump. So when I don't know what that button combination is, but I believe that might be his 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's his 3. So whenever he used his 3, he jumped away from my ult, which I wasn't prepared for. But I was able to still confirm the kill by calculating my 1, which honestly you'll see that in with Poseidon and Raw, I hit my 1s better than I do my ult, which is honestly sad to say it with the Poseidon, but with Raw, I mean I can hit my ults, but I can also hit my 1 just as easy because it's on instant cast for me. No, it's not. I lied. It's on instant cast. The things that are on instant cast is my 2 and believe my 3. So, but that's always good. With my Poseidon, everything's on instant cast except my 4. Even though a lot of people don't recommend playing on instant cast, I feel that if you understand a god well enough, there is no reason not to do instant cast because it's kind of like a handicap. You're using the character as any other normal player would. I mean, yeah, you have more chance of making your shots count, but I feel that if it's something like a Poseidon Whirlpool where you know that it's gonna go somewhere, that it's highlighted that you aim your middle screen at, then there's no reason to not have an instacast once you get used to where it places. So because it slows down your reaction time and it overall slows down your gameplay with that god, which ultimately could either A, drop you kills, or B, allow you to die if you can't escape or leave fast enough. Here, I don't miss my ult, so he could go back to spawn yet again because I don't fucks with you, Xingqiang. I don't like him very much, so I'm going to put him back into spawn because I don't want him to have any kind of presence on my team whatsoever. Not that he's scary or anything, I just don't like him. He's just kind of looking at me kind of funny, so I had to put him in the goddamn dirt and send him back to the fountain once again. So, after that kill, I just go back to middle lane because my team is currently taking the middle lane tower. But we weren't able to get it because we had no minion wave, so we eventually just pulled away because there's no reason to stay in there if you can't get it. The speed wasn't up, so I didn't take it, which is all good. Here I just placed my wards in the jungler so we know where the jungler will be, and so we get more intel if any other people decide to gank or anything. Here, Jingting, I know, has no defense against me, so I can just poke him out because there's really nothing he can do against me anyway. Even if he would have threw me under the tower, I would have been able to 3 and use my potion pot that I still had, which is just a health pot, which gives me more health, obviously. Here, like I said early in the video, when I said you could use his ult, I let my team know that I still have my ult, so they could go for the kill, and here I use my ult to confirm. There is no reason not to do that when you're a Raw. Notice that without cooldowns, that's a 1 minute cooldown. Actually like a 56-second cooldown, which is significantly faster than a lot of other ults in the game, which are, I don't know, toss up between 60 seconds or so, a little bit, no, 60 to about a minute and a half or so, 2 minutes. Like it's a lot. It's significantly a longer span of time to get that ult than that, and that ult is a very high bursting damage ult. That's another reason why you should build double stacks, because not only does that build your power and give you mana and health, that helps you get that significant power spike that you need to ensure that you're doing significant amount damage with mid lane mages. Because your mages, unlike your ADC is supposed to come online late game, late mid to late game. Mages are supposed to apply super heavy burst damage. I'd say here I missed my ult because I didn't know where he went. I lost track of him, but I hit him with my 1 anyway. Like I said, back to the thing where I can hit my 1. Here we're going to pressure. I don't know where the hell he came from, but he's about to take an L. He took an L, and then he took an L. You see the snap of the wrist. If that would have went off, that was dead for me anyway. But Jingting has no health, and there's really no reason to keep pressuring him because, you know, I want him to be okay. I don't want to make him rage quit quite yet. There I should have just went ahead and got the speed, but I decided not to because I wanted to help get this kill, which honestly he gave up on. So, you know, I let him have the kill though because I want him to be able to get his stack, his passive for his stack, or stack for his passive, my bad. Because what Xbalanque's passive is if he gets 5 kills with his passive, he gets extra damage and penetration, I believe it is. I know he gets extra damage, but I don't know if he gets extra pen, but I'm pretty sure he does, which just makes him even that stronger. There I use my 1 to poke the Poseidon away from the Xbalanque and I, so he can't 3 and ult us while we're taking the tower, which ultimately helped out. Here I remember in this life, I stay a little bit way too long, which is, it's a bit of a problem. I mean, I could have backed, but I decided not to. Here I tell him just to bring it over because I don't want the other team to have any kind of chance on it. So here I do have my ult, but I do confirm it, I believe, with my ult. I don't remember. No, I remember why. I did not because I knew that no one was around to contest. That's because this other team, I noticed, it doesn't really like contesting much. Here, I didn't use my ult against the Poseidon because that would have been kind of like a no reason kind of thing. Because he's low and Achilles has an execution ult. So, it's okay. I didn't need to ult there. So, I saved my ult for any other potential kills that may or may not occur. Here, I just want to poke out the Thor because I don't want him here. Here, I believe I hit him. I did hit him! That hoe! He used Aegis! I didn't know if I hit him or not in the gameplay, but I'm happy that I actually did. He just had Aegis, so whatever. But here we know just getting some kills, got the kill on the Jingting because he's out of place and he thought he could just get away by just simply ulting us away. But here I am low on mana. I should have backed, but I decide not to, which I believe gets me killed because there's really, I mean, to a certain extent that you can back if you need to. I mean, I've not only got a few kills during this lifetime, I've been from every lane. There's really nothing up, and yet I decided to stay in this lane because, I don't know. I knew for a fact that the one team was here, or the one guy, but Mono was still here. I still decided to go for it for some reason, which is ultimately what got me killed. But here I was able to just kind of juke around for a long, decent amount of time. Honestly, I didn't realize it, but I could have just walked away from him because I am faster than him. But I mean, it's okay. I realized that later in the game. But here I just juke around as much as I can. I died because I stayed way too long. So that's my fault. I shouldn't have stayed out that long. I shouldn't have even pressed the wave. I should have just backed and got more items, which I eventually do. Because now I'm able to get my second stacking item online, and I start to get my penetration, because the penetration will help me against the Vamana and Xingting from them building defense, which is really good. But here my team picks up a couple kills, which is really good while I'm down. Which honestly, I feel that I should have died. I don't think they had any really big chance of coming to save me. I mean, maybe, but here we're just gonna box the Poseidon. That was a good one by Poseidon, but Poseidon is still gonna die, I believe. But here I use my 3 abilities to stack my passive, which you could tell in the bottom left corner. The 3 yellow dots indicate that every time I use an ability, my speed increases, which helps me get to lane. Here I want to protect the left tower because I don't want the Vamana continuously split push it. And that's what I was saying about earlier, that he really wasn't in too many team fights. Here that I have some penetration online, I backed, he hasn't backed yet. I'm able to do a lot more damage. But here he's going to box me anyway, which is honestly fine because I can live a box through him. Vamana is a very good boxing god, so that is something to realize. I did miss my one, I miscalculated it. But here I realized that this is when I realized that honestly I could have just ran away from him in the beginning because I am a lot faster than him. But it's okay. Here I meet him back again, hit him my one, and I'm just going to continuously use my abilities to slow him down until my team can come and help me with the kill. So that was a really good bait on my part. I was able to get him to take a lot of damage. We didn't kill him, but we scared him away long enough to really just push him out of lane, make him lose more farm, and just overall put him in the dirt. The ISIS blew up our 2 there a little bit early, but that's okay. Here, we shouldn't have taken the team fight that we did here because we were kind of out of position. I feel that, and most of the team wasn't here, and they had like a 4-man team there. So we end up losing a couple of teammates, which is it's all good. I get out as long they only get 2 kills for it, which is okay. I try to indicate to the team that there was multiple people there. Vamana's doing his job by pressuring me, keeping me away, so I just run away. ISIS, I ult the Xingting, hit him for a little bit, and then I continuously try and pressure with long-range distant attacks, which is what you want to do with any kind of mage. Just stay far away from the actual action itself and just pressure when you can with the abilities that you have, because that is your job. That's what separates you from ADC and a mage. So just always keep that in mind whenever you play the mage role. So I just need you guys to know that as a middle laner, your job is really to just apply your damage where you can and just make sure you stay away. Position yourself to a point where the jungler, the warrior, and the guardian cannot get to you. You can tend to 1v1 ADCs if they're 1 missing their autos and 2 you're able to hit your abilities around them. But be careful, because usually late game they could pretty much shred you with a couple of autos, so you kind of need to be careful of that. But if you get high enough as middle lane, no one could really stop you. There's really nothing that can ultimately end you. But with that being said, the video is about to come to a close, so I hope you enjoyed this mid-game Raw. I hope you enjoyed the snipes with the 4 and the 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about how you should play your mid lane, how you should play Raw. So here we just confirm this last camp in the jungle. I use my 1 to confirm because eventually when you get to a late game, you don't need your ult to confirm because your 1 does just as much damage. But here, I just want to say, see ya Poseidon, because fuck you for playing Poseidon. I'm the Poseidon main, not you. So I send him back to the fountain one last time in this game. And with that, the game is going to conclude. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I hope you guys enjoyed the communication between a bunch of randoms. And I overall hope you guys learned a lot in this game. So be careful when you're mid lane. Just be wary of where you're at. Buy wards. Just be careful and apply your damage. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Peace out.